All right, YouTube, this is Mr. Mean, just with a quick video here. I'm going to upload this via my phone, so I hope it comes out okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I just found a cool little hack last night while I was GMing that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is my setup. There's my table. There would normally be chairs, up here, and one guy sits at the very end. There's my Pathfinder map. And there's a dice tray right there, and of course we have a couple of dice trays floating around. I have my dice tray here behind my GM screen, all fine and dandy. Lights overhead, totally makes sense. Nothing new here. I got my dice, I got my hero points, I got all my flat plastic minis, I got some Descent minis that I was using because I don't have any minis to represent giant centipedes, so I used these guys last night. They worked perfectly. The players are suitably they're second level now, so they just hit third level. So giant centipedes really aren't a big deal for them. They walked right through them. I'm running the Troubles in Altari Pathfinder, I guess, adventure. Words. I just woke up, so I do apologize. I did get in the Monster Core book last week. It shipped. I'm on the GM core rule book subscription path, so as soon as stuff gets released I get the PDF, and then a couple days later I get the core book, and of course my 2 books there. There's a whole section of all my Pathfinder stuff and everything. So the hack, let's get to it. So a lot of people have bad eyes. That's no stranger. I'm one of them. I've made comment of it many times. I use a laser pointer, to point out on the table where stuff is, while the players are playing, so I don't have to keep reaching over there and all that stuff. So I sit behind my GM screen and I run the game, actively waiting for the new Pathfinder GM screen, of course. But you know what? This setup works for me. I got my I don't even remember how I got this, but I got the Paizo die, which is awesome. I love it. So that being said, what's the hack? Well, I'm almost 60. My eyes are bad. They're not horrible, but they're bad. I strain to read normal size text. I have bifocals. I wear contacts a lot. So when I wear my contacts, I have to wear readers. The biggest problem is not getting the text or whatever I'm trying to read, here on the screen. It's the lighting. Now I have decent lighting here. This is my basement of my house, and this is the man cave. I think I've shown it to everybody before. There's my painting station and everything, my paint rack, and I got a Pathfinder poster up there, and a couple goodies all around. I don't want to move the camera too much. I don't want to give anybody vertigo or anything. There's my nice laser printer. There's my desktop. That's where my recording studio is and everything. And then of course I have a nice 65-inch Samsung TV with the sound bar. The Conan board game makes a great studio stand for your speaker bar. All right. So anyway, what's this awesome hack I've babbled on? I just don't want this to be a super quick video. I want it to have some substance. So I hope that gives you a little insight into my gaming and my requirements. And like I said, I'm kind of blind. And so the hard part, I'm trying to read something, and there's just not enough light for me. And it's late at night now. There's a little light coming in from the window. I have the awesome Chivalry and Sorcery map up there blocking out the light. I'm going to get that framed, by the way, Stephen. Thank you so much for the cool stuff from Chivalry and Sorcery. But that being said, a lot of us gamers are computer nerds, geeks, techies, whatever you want to call it. And so I use a light bar on my PC, and you can see it right there. I'll turn it on. Hopefully it won't wash out the screen. Yeah, there you go. You can see it, and there's my camera, and I can, oh, it has this cool little remote right here, which evidently I need a new battery. And now it doesn't want to turn on. Anyway, but I had a spare one at work. I just quit my job. I took another job for a local company that's going to take care of me and pay me more and give me benefits. But look at how cool this is. And you say, well, John, it needs power, right? And most of these lights are USB Type-C or USB Type-A. So here's my cable, right? here's the cable. And it's like, oh, it's not going to reach all the way over to my computer way back there, my Mac Mini. I don't want to run a cable. That's going to be obnoxious. Hence your power pack. Most techies, most everybody's got one of these nowadays because we have cell phones. We're always on the go. We want to be able to keep things going. But I saw this last night, and I had my extra light that I brought from my computer at work, and I said, let me just see. Right, it was literally, this epiphany hit me right before I started gaming. Then the guys got here, so I put it up there. Look, now I've got plenty of light underneath. It's, in this case, it's adjustable. I've got my, you can see I can spin it down. I can turn up the brightness. I can change the hue. As you can see, I can make it warm, make it more of a blue. A nice yellow tint. With the whatever I want. I kind of like the brightest, but I can turn it down if we're playing a very suspenseful game or whatever. It goes pretty low, as you can see, and it goes pretty bright. So, and it sits right here next to me. And then look, now I've got enough light. I can clearly read this with no problems. And what a neat little hack. I think this thing was like, I want to say it was probably around $40 on Amazon. This is the first one I have. That's the second one over there that I bought, and I liked it better because the control mechanism is a little smaller and doesn't take up much space on my desk. So, just as an aside for you GMs out there that maybe are in the same boat, maybe have poor lighting in your gaming area, or have bad eyesight like I do. What a neat little hack, right? Your GM screen is obviously, you can see it's sitting on there. I don't have anything on the back side. I'm going to turn this around so you can see I don't have anything back there holding up, supporting the GM screen. It's just a normal Paizo Pathfinder 2nd Edition GM screen, and it works great. I normally have these paper clips that I use for my players. This is our rogue in the group, and I put them on here, and then what I do is I put everybody in initiative order, and I just sit them on there like that, facing the players, and then as initiative moves, I move them to the back. Can't really do that with this setup, so I have a PDF of an initiative tracker, and I just let my players keep track of initiative now because the light is more important than that initiative tracker. Plus, it keeps one of the players engaged. And I find that if you have the players keep track of initiative, it keeps everybody engaged because that player is going to get on their ass to let them know that, hey, you need to do something. It's your turn. Let's go. So we had 3 combats last night. We played from about 7 p.m. to 11:30 last night. This power pack lasted the whole time. It didn't die until right as we were wrapping up the game. So it lasted me about a good 4 hours, maybe a little bit more than 4 hours. So, and it was fully charged when I plugged it up. And last night, as soon as we were done gaming, I just plugged it in again. So this is awesome. Very happy with it. And like I said, it gave me an option to let the players keep track of initiative so they don't start wandering. Because, when it's not your turn as a player, sometimes you start looking at your phone, you start reading a book, looking at your abilities. This way, it kind of kept the players all engaged because everybody was staying on track. And our combats went really smooth. It was no trying to figure out whose turn it was or somebody pushing somebody else to say, hey, look at the GM, it's your turn. The players kind of did that. It gave them the ownership of it, and it worked really well. So, just a neat little hack. I wanted to share it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you use something like that. It just dawned on me when this was my second one from my work. I had it on my work computer at work, and I quit my job. I just started a new job in a week. I'm taking next week off to paint some miniatures and just some honeydew list to get done. Just a little vacation for me, some me time, because my last job, I didn't have vacation time. I was a contractor, and though, to be honest, they treated me pretty poorly. So I just had enough, and they were announcing layoffs. And my boss, who was super awesome, said, hey, maybe you should, get your resume up to date. And so I did. So a little insight into Mr. Mean's life. I applied for 3 jobs. I got all 3 jobs. I chose the job that I thought was best suited for me and my family, and had the best benefits that I was looking for. So I start April 1st, no jokes intended, and I'm pretty excited for this new chapter in my life. Like I said, it's a good job. It's doing desktop support, which is what I like to do. A little bit of travel, not much, And yeah, my boss seems to be a super cool guy. And yeah, we're going to go from there and we're going to move forward. But I really thought this was a super cool hack, and maybe you guys already know about it. If you do, or you have, something else, there's some of those elaborate GM screens, and I have one. That's my custom-made GM screen up there. It folds out. It's pretty big, and that light sits on it perfectly as well. Because I tried it with both, but I typically don't use that screen because it sits so high and I can't see over it to the table, and I don't want to jack my chair up super high because then I feel silly. So we all have office chairs, and we just sit in the chairs and play. But this is the game room. This is kind of what you see set up for a typical game session. Like I said, there would be chairs all around that table. That's a 6 foot long table, or 8 foot. I think it's an 8 foot long table. No, it's 6 foot. It's a 6 foot long one of those picnic tables, and it just folds out. And then when I'm done with this video, I'm going to tear everything apart. That's just a sheet of plexiglass from our local hardware store. We have a company up here called Menards. They're kind of like Home Depot, but they're local. And it was like, I don't know, $25 for that sheet of plexiglass. And it just keeps those maps from Paizo flat, so that you can draw on it with a dry erase or a wet erase or whatever. So super cool. Just wanted to share this little hack. I hope you guys find it useful. I'm going to use it from now on. I'll tell you that. I won't go back. I'm pretty stoked for it. Pretty impressed with it. And I can turn it off just like that. So yeah, pretty cool. It works really well. It's a relatively cheap hack. I'm sure there's cheaper light bars out there on Amazon or wherever that you can, maybe a Target or something. But this is one, like I said, it was a spare from my old desk at my old job. And so I brought it home and I thought, hey, wait a minute. Because I had put it right up there on the shelf just to get it out of the way. And I thought, wow, how cool is that? So I'm babbling. Thank you so much for watching. Give a thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. As always, help support the channel via Patreon or Ko-Fi. Go buy me a coffee. All the links are down in the doobly-doo. And as always, peace and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says, be nice. Happy Sunday, everybody.